A very good evening and welcome to the news tonight, where we get you the day's top stories from India and across the world. I'm Tracy Shilshi, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting all of that. But first, the headlines. BJP veterans launch a direct attack against Prime Minister Modi and Party Chief Amit Shah. Call for accountability for the Bihar electoral debacle. Government eases controls in 15 sectors in mining, including civil aviation, defence, broadcasting and construction. Investment norms also relax for companies controlled by NRIs. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to leave for 5-day tour of UK and Turkey from Thursday. Issues relate to economy, security and energy to dominate discussions. Protests escalate over the issue of one rank, one pension notification. Former servicemen return their medals. Defence Minister Manohar Parkar calls the protests unbecoming of former servicemen. The top story, BJP's veteran leaders have launched a scathing criticism on the present leadership for the debacle in the Bihar polls. Veteran leaders Murli Manohar Joshi, Yashwant Sinha and Shanta Kumar met L.K. Advani at his residence this evening. Later, they issued a statement in which they said that the party has not learned its lessons from the fiasco in Delhi Assembly polls in February this year. It slammed the party's stand not to hold anyone individually responsible for the debacle, saying those who led the party in the polls are shrugging off responsibility. The leaders also recommended a thorough review to find the reasons for the debacle. The reactions come a day after BJP top leaders officially came out with its analysis of the poll results. The parliamentary party had said that underestimating the strength of the Grand Alliance was the biggest reason for the defeat. For more on this story, which is of course breaking at the moment, we've got our correspondent Shyam Sundar joining us now from the newsroom. Shyam, this is some big development that we're seeing just a day after, the party decided that, they're not going to be blaming anyone, holding anyone particularly responsible for that Bihar debacle. And in a sense, the BJP veterans, in a sense, blaming Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. We seem to have lost that link there with Shyam Sundar, who will be joining us in just a short while. We're trying to patch, of course, that link there. But this is, of course, some big piece of news that's coming in this evening, even as the party, of course, was trying to shirk away the responsibility of who to be held accountable, really, for that debacle in the Bihar polls, saying that the main reason, of course, for that loss was underestimating the power or the popularity of the Grand Alliance, which was, of course, of Nitish Kumar, Lalu Prasad and the Congress as well. Remember, of course, BJP did face a humiliating defeat in Bihar just day before yesterday, and this comes just after that humiliating defeat that they saw in Delhi in February this year. In fact, the veterans meeting earlier this evening, and now they are, of course, saying that there seems to be no sort of change really in the way the party is, of course, dealing with the situation as far as elections are concerned. I believe we are joined by Shyam Sundar now. Shyam, can you hear me?
Yeah, Tracy.
All right. Some big news, Shyam. Give us some more details of what exactly are you hearing from your sources. Just coming short of actually naming those responsible, which are, of course, Narendra Modi and Amit Shah.
Well, Tracy, yesterday there was a parliamentary board meeting of the BJP to review Bihar election results, and the way Mr. Arun Jaitley talked to media, and he clearly said that RSS is RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat or any party leader including Mr. Narendra Modi or Amit Shah is not responsible. It is a collective responsibility of the party. Everybody in the party is responsible, and the way Mr. Shatrughan Sinha was speaking and Mr. R.K. Singh, former Home Secretary and present MP of BJP, they were speaking. The party totally totally disagreed with their point of view. So there was apprehension in the BJP itself that after BJP's debacle in Bihar, there will be some problems, and there will be some kind of voices against the leadership of Mr. Amit Shah and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi also, because these were the two people who were controlling campaign in Bihar, and after Delhi's defeat, it was really embarrassing for the BJP after Bihar's defeat, and we have seen senior leaders like Mr. Lal Krishna Advani, Mr. Yashwant Sinha, Shanta Kumar, they are coming together and they have issued a joint statement. Before that also, Mr. Shanta Kumar written a letter to the High Command of BJP on the issue of Vyapam and other corruption charges on the state governments of BJP. At that point of time also, Shanta Kumar raised the issue of working style of Mr. Amit Shah and other senior leaders of the BJP. So now it is very, very difficult for the BJP leadership to defend itself and the party, because it is a direct attack, none other from the BJP's top leaders, and we have to keep in mind that Lal Krishna Advani is still in Margdarshak Mandal, which is, according to BJP leadership, is the body which shows way to the party. Yes, absolutely. Shyam, thanks so much for joining us. It'll be interesting to see, of course, how the party members, the parliamentary board for that matter, reacts to this. The senior leaders of the party, of course, react to this development that's coming in, of course, from the veterans of their very own party. Meanwhile, heading on to Bihar, Nitish Kumar is all set to take oath as Chief Minister for the third time in the state. The swearing-in ceremony is likely to take place on the 20th of November in Patna. Talks on government formation have already begun among the three constituent parties of the Grand Alliance.
2 days after the Grand Alliance swept the Bihar polls, talks on government formation have begun among its three constituents. In all likelihood, the swearing-in ceremony will take place on the 20th of November, when Nitish Kumar will take oath as Bihar Chief Minister for the 5th time. According to JDU leader Vashisht Narayan Singh, the delay in the ceremony is because of Diwali and Chhath, which ends on the 18th of November. Another reason for the delay is that the three parties of the Grand Alliance need time to decide on who would be the Speaker and whether Lalu Prasad's son will be made the Deputy CM. A decision on whether the Congress will join the government in Bihar is also awaited. Party President Sonia Gandhi will take the final call on this. Reports say Nitish Kumar is likely to apply the tested formula of one minister for every 5 MLAs. He is also expected to negotiate for departments like roads, electricity, health and education, areas which he promised to boost in his 7-point agenda during the election campaign. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Alright, now ahead of the winter session of Parliament, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will begin a 2-nation tour of the UK and Turkey from tomorrow. Economy, security and energy are expected to dominate the Prime Minister's agenda during bilateral talks in Britain and at G20 summit in Turkey. His UK visit, of course, will include a grand reception at the Wembley Stadium on Friday, which is billed as the biggest political rally in the history of the UK.
18 months after coming to power, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting United Kingdom for the first time. Starting Wednesday, he will be in UK for the next 3 days, during which he will hold bilateral talks with the leadership, including Prime Minister David Cameron. Issues like security, anti-terror campaign are some of the key agendas on PM's list to do. An estimated $15 billion trade and investment deals are expected from Modi's UK visit.
There would be a lot of political and security-related discussions, both on global and regional issues.
Before his visit, Modi contributed an article on the Sunday Times about his expectations from the visit. He pinned hope for more foreign investments from UK to boost economy. Food security, climate change are some of the other issues on which he hopes to have cooperation from UK. The Prime Minister will meet the Queen and also attend a grand reception at the iconic Wembley Stadium on the last day of his visit. He is also scheduled to address the Indian diaspora in an event described as Olympic style. However, opposition parties have come out slamming PM's frequent visits abroad.
Nothing comes out of these visits except a bit of chest thumping here and there. And considering that people of India are rejecting him, so maybe his hunger for crowds abroad is what takes him out of the country ever so often.
अब बिहार में और देश में तो उनके भ्रमण के लिए कुछ कम ही जगह बची हैं, अब वो विदेश में रह करके एनआरआई प्रधानमंत्री का टैग लिए घूमते रहें, यही उनके लिए अच्छा है।
Fresh from the poll defeat in Bihar, Modi has to now assure Britain that opposition will not stall key reforms and that business will not be hampered. Modi will be the first Indian Prime Minister to visit UK in a decade. UK had boycotted Modi for 10 years after the 2002 riots when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, for more on this story, we're joined by Mr. K.P. Nair, who's the consulting editor at The Telegraph. Mr. Nair, thanks so much for being here with the news tonight. Like it was pointed out in the story, he's the first Prime Minister to visit Britain, after a full decade. What are the kind of expectations from both sides?
Well, there are two aspects to the visit. One is the state-to-state relationship. The other is the relationship with Indians in the UK. Both are equally important. The state-to-state relationship, I think what we need to take into account is the fact that after our independence from British rule, for decades, India and the UK talked at one another. It was only during Manmohan Singh's tenure that India and the UK decided to talk to one another. Modi has the opportunity to talk to the UK instead of talk at UK. And the reforms, the economic package that has been unveiled today in terms of foreign investment in various sectors and all, has created the atmospherics for that. The other aspect is the Indian community in the UK.
Yes.
And that is equally important because of the 1.4 million Indians in the UK, 600,000 are of Gujarati origin. So this is fundamentally different from Madison Square Garden, Dubai, where most of the people who attended this event were Malayalis.
Yes.
So both are equally important. So let's see, we have to see how it pans out in terms of actual implementation.
And coming as it is, in the backdrop right after the Bihar elections, do you think that the big shows that we of course see of Narendra Modi whenever he visits abroad, organized by the NRI community, would that shine, would that luster, fade a bit? Or do you think that chest thumping, as being called by Congress, will still continue?
You see, the defeat in Bihar is more likely to cast a shadow on his official talks. The Wembley Stadium event, it will not have any impact. Partly because it's oversubscribed. Now they're turning off people who are trying to register.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, people go there not for policy decisions. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is a good orator. People go there to listen to him, and I don't think they will be disappointed because at the end of the day, he is a good speaker.
Yes.
And despite what happened in Bihar, I am sure he'll change his speech, he will change the narrative. So people will not be disappointed. The shadow of the defeat in Bihar is more likely to be felt during the official talks because the British diplomats, they are veterans in this sort of thing. They've been colonial superpower long before the Americans arrived on this stage.
That's right.
So they will use this visit to assess what he is able to do.
Yeah.
And I think that is probably the reason why he unveiled the economic reform package today.
Yeah.
Because it gives a push. There's no doubt that it gives a push.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that. In fact, we'll tell our viewers of that in just a bit. But thank you so much, Mr. Nair, for joining us. And, as the tour, of course, goes on, we'll be joined by you, I'm sure, to take us through, certain better, bigger developments that we'll be seeing from that UK tour as well. Thanks so much. Meanwhile, as Mr. Nair pointed out, eyeing those big-ticket investments, the government today announced that it will ease FDI norms in 15 sectors, while 100% FDI has been allowed in DTH, cable network and plantation crop. Overseas investment limit in uplinking of news and current affairs TV channels has been raised to 49%. The announcement comes a day ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United Kingdom.
After the Bihar election results, now comes the big reform push. The government is relaxing foreign investment rules in 15 sectors.
Foreign direct investment is an additionality of resource. This additionality of resource is required if the cycle of economic activity has to go on. We still need a very large resource both for infrastructure, for new initiatives like Startup India, Skill India, Make in India. And as I said, foreign investment is certainly an important additionality of resource.
In a series of tweets, the Prime Minister said that the decision to ease FDI norms demonstrates the government's unwavering commitment to development and reforms.
Well, after the Bihar results were out, many were questioning the government on the reforms. And certainly today's bold step taken by the government in easing the FDI sector, bringing reforms. The World Bank has already recognized India's position on ease of doing business, and certainly the Modi government has honored the commitment given to the voters before the election and the mandate they receive for economic growth and development.
FDI has been eased in construction, real estate, defense, broadcasting and LLPs. While 100% FDI was allowed in DTH, cable network and plantation crops, overseas investment limit in uplinking of news and current affairs TV channels has been raised to 49% from the current 26%.
देखिए, जहाँ तक हमारी पार्टी का सवाल है, हम इस फेवर में हैं कि FDI आए, फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट आना चाहिए देश में. ज़रूरत है हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था को दुरुस्त और चुस्त बनाने में. लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी FDI ला रही है, ये हमको ताज्जुब जरूर हो रहा है कि यही भारतीय जनता पार्टी है जिसने कई सेक्टर में विरोध किया था जब वो विपक्ष में थे.
Government is withering away from its responsibilities. 100% FDI in 15 sectors. This is a very serious agenda. So this is precisely the response, because he may be telling that Achhe Din is coming, but in reality the people of the country are in doldrums. The gap between shining and suffering in India is increasing, and with the opening up of these 15 sectors, 100% FDI if allowed in these 15 sectors, it will be a bonanza for the fat cats and the big corporates.
The government also relaxed conditions for FDI in single brand retail and allowed 100% FDI under automatic route in duty-free shops and limited liability partnership, and eased foreign investment norms in the defense sector.
It has come at a very, very appropriate time, I would say, because after the drubbing the ruling party and ruling dispensation got in Bihar election, there was a question mark in the minds of investors, not only local, domestic, but international, especially institutional investors, whether the current regime, current government can pursue their economic agenda for which people were betting heavily.
The government has called the decision a Diwali gift for the investors and the biggest bang reform of the government. Bureau Report.
Right, without a quick break here, but still ahead, accused of taking bribes, Kerala's Finance Minister K.M. Mani resigns. Details of that in a bit.
To a complete roundup of news from India and abroad. Politics, strategy, business, sports. Keen analysis to kickstart your day. Watch Breakfast News weekdays at 8 a.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back to the news tonight. Now, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar criticised army veterans who decided to return their medals in protest against the delay in implementation of the OROP scheme, and also urged the ex-servicemen to put their grievances before the Pay Commission. The veterans have been protesting against some of the clause in the scheme for the past 5 months.
Retired military personnel are unhappy over their demands not fulfilled in the one rank, one pension scheme. The ex-servicemen who have been protesting at Jantar Mantar in Delhi since June have rejected the notification issued by Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar on Saturday. Protesting army veterans have opposed the scheme in its present form. As a mark of protest, they gathered outside the Indira Gandhi International Airport to return their medals.
ये डिमांड तो बहुत पुरानी है और गवर्नमेंट ने सैंक्शन भी कर दिया था, उसको 17 महीने हो गए. वन रैंक वन पेंशन जो सैंक्शन है 2 पार्लियामेंट से, सरकार ने इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं किया था. हम एजिटेशन कर रहे हैं. 149 दिन में है. अभी सरकार ने 7 तारीख को जो नोटिफिकेशन इशू किया है वो वन रैंक वन पेंशन नहीं है.
ओआरओपी का लेटर हमें नहीं दे रहे हैं. अभी तक हमारा चालू रहेगा 24 घंटे वाला, जितनी देर तक ओआरओपी का लेटर हमें नहीं देंगे.
However, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar criticised the protesting ex-servicemen. Terming the implementation of the scheme as one of the major achievements, Parrikar said that not all demands of the veterans could be met.
Almost all the major aspect of OROP has been complied with. Plus, a commission is being put up. That commission will look into any other small matters if they are remaining. अगर किसी की तकरार है, कंप्लेन है, वो दे सकता है उधर. उसको मेडल रिटर्न करने की जरूरत नहीं है. और कोई अगर ये बाद में इतना करने के बाद भी अगर कोई करना चाहता है तो डेमोक्रेसी परमिट्स एवरीवन. आई कैन नॉट स्टॉप एनीवन.
The notification is more or less in line with what Parrikar had announced on September 5th. However, it has dropped the proposal to exclude ex-servicemen who had sought premature retirement from the ambit of OROP. But the armed forces personnel who opt to get discharged on their request would henceforth not get OROP benefits. The scheme is likely to benefit over 24 lakh ex-servicemen and 6 lakh war widows in the country. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In other news, a Vishwa Hindu Parishad activist died and many others, including policemen, were injured in clashes in Madikeri town of Karnataka. Trouble started over celebrations to mark the birth anniversary of 18th century Mysore ruler Tipu Sultan. Police used tear gas and batons to disperse the hundreds of opponents and supporters of the celebrations. VHP activist D.S. Kattappa died of head injuries. Madikeri and Kodagu district has been tense for the past few days of the government's plans to celebrate the 266th birth anniversary of Tipu Sultan. The VHP, RSS, Bajrang Dal and the BJP organized dozens of protests in Kodagu and other parts of the state in the last few weeks, describing Tipu Sultan as a religious bigot who tormented Hindus.
There was a likelihood of a clash between the two groups. So to prevent that clash, there was a mild lathi charge to ensure that these people get dispersed from the GT circle. And accordingly they dispersed from GT circle and they were sent to the town hall direction. They all went to the town hall. Afterwards there was some stone pelting from town hall side.
This is because of this tried to disturb the communal harmony, and they have called the Bandh today in Kodagu. They should not have. We are celebrating, the government is celebrating Tipu Jayanti. Why they have called the Bandh?
There should be a judicial inquiry into it, and I demand this PFD and KFD, whatever it is, all these organizations which are the running this activity, they have to be banned. Third thing is, the concerned police officer has to be suspended.
It is unfortunate that a man has been killed. It's regrettable. But at the same time, I totally condemn the protest against the Tipu Sultan centenary celebration. If
we cannot celebrate the centenary of Tipu Sultan, then whose centenary celebration in this country, secular country, can be celebrated?
Well, let's get you some more updates from across the country and nationwide. Accused of taking bribe, Kerala's Finance Minister K. Mani has finally resigned. This comes a day after the High Court asked for further probe into his case. Mani is alleged to have taken a bribe for opening closed-down bars from rich bar owners. The government chief whip, Thomas Uniyadan, also announced his resignation in solidarity with his leader. Security was stepped up in parts of Punjab after radical Sikh organizations removed the 5 head priests. They appointed Jagtar Singh Hawara, a convict in the Beyan Singh assassination case, as the Jathedar of the Akal Takht. Thousands of people attended the event along with many senior Sikh leaders. Sri Lanka has freed all the 126 Indian fishermen arrested by its navy for allegedly poaching in the country's waters. The release came after Sri Lanka and India completed formalities for the release of fishermen detained in each other's countries. Indian authorities are also expected to release 37 Lankan fishermen from custody. Well, some international news and another day of waiting for the election results in Myanmar. Fresh results, though, showed opposition NLD winning many more seats in parliament. The party leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, is now confident that her party will win with a 2/3 majority. She also made it clear that she will be the one making the decisions, irrespective of who was appointed president by the newly elected Houses of Parliament.
Myanmar heading towards massive change. A fresh batch of election results on Tuesday showed opposition NLD on the road to a sweeping election victory. Of the 159 results declared so far, NLD won 144. The military-backed Union Solidarity and Development Party got 8. The rest were claimed by ethnic minority parties. The NLD even announced its unofficial victory. A confident Aung San Suu Kyi claimed she's confident her party had won a parliamentary majority. Celebrations began outside the party headquarters, where thousands of NLD supporters had gathered, waiting for the final result. European Union observers said the elections were better than expected, but added that more reforms were needed to ensure genuine elections in the future.
The process went better than many expected beforehand. It is also true, however, that more is needed, more reforms are needed to ensure that truly genuine elections can take place in the future.
UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon also congratulated the people of Myanmar for their enthusiasm in the historic elections.
The Secretary General, however, wishes to congratulate the people of Myanmar for their patience, dignity and enthusiasm as they participated in Sunday's historic polls. The Secretary General notes that the results of the polls have started to come in. He encourages all stakeholders in Myanmar to maintain their dignified spirit, calm and respect throughout the completion of the electoral process.
But even if Aung San Suu Kyi's NLD forms Myanmar's first democratically elected government since the early 1960s, she cannot be chosen the president. Myanmar's constitution does not allow people with foreign offspring to hold the top post. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And that's all we have for you on the news tonight. Have a safe and happy Diwali.
Thank you.